Elite Facts presents
7 world records that went horribly wrong.
7.
Domino toppling. Okay, we're sure you know exactly what's going to happen here. There must be a primal fear that perpetually resides in a person when their team spends a whole month arranging 4 million dominoes. All it takes is one teeny tiny mistake or the slightest breeze or vibration to suddenly destroy all their hard work, taking them back to square one instantly and in spectacular fashion. Well, this exact nightmare happened to a determined team of Dutchmen that attempted to break this record. They were close to finished with the setup when an errant sparrow somehow got into the building. The ensuing chaos resulted in the bird knocking down 23,000 dominoes. The disaster was recoverable, but not in time for the arrival of the Guinness representatives on the appointed day. The attempt was abandoned and the bird was appropriately shot.
6.
The longest sandwich in the world. Okay, this one is our personal favorite. The record here is to make the longest ever sandwich in the world. Now, you're probably thinking, that doesn't sound like a dangerous task and it doesn't sound terribly hard. What could possibly go wrong? Well, here's what happened, question boy. The record to beat was 1,378 meters, set by a group of Italians. To top that, an Iranian women's organization assembled more than 1,000 cooks with the goal of creating a 1,500-meter-long sandwich. Even with that many people at work, making the sandwich was a process that took hours. The event drew quite a crowd. Now, do you know what happens when there isn't any food and beverages being served to a crowd watching this record-breaking attempt involving food take place? They get hungry, of course. The observing crowd forced their way past the cooks and started eating the sandwich before its record length could be verified. Reports of a Scooby-Doo-esque scene where the crowd chomped at one end of the sandwich while the cooks frantically tried to outbuild them at the other remains unconfirmed. Next time, when inviting a hungry crowd to a lengthy event that revolves around food they can't eat, maybe hire a popcorn guy to keep them busy.
5.
Bar hopping. Nothing better than a pub crawl, right? The rules are simple. Visit as many bars as possible and consume 1 beer at each. Sounds simple enough, right? Oddly, the problem wasn't a drunken binge or an accident or any other of the probable events you could imagine during a night of alcohol consumption and travel. It was the organizer. Larry Olmsted had been previously blacklisted by the Guinness people. Now, you're probably wondering why he'd been blacklisted. Well, the reason for this ban was because Olmsted, a record holder already, wrote a book on his attempt at the longest distance traveled between playing 2 rounds of golf in the same day. He also wrote a book on the history of the Guinness Book of Records. Neither book was authorized by the Guinness people, nor was it well received. So Olmsted's latest attempt to get in the book wasn't allowed, as Guinness had filed legal action against him. So, long story short, don't make knockoff merchandise of a massive company whose approval you want for an event you've planned.
4.
Longest time without sleep. Everyone has had those nights where you can't get any sleep, whether it's because you're stressed out about having a lot of work to get done the next day, or you're way too into your Netflix show to go to bed, or you simply struggle to get to sleep for some other reason. We've all experienced restless nights, and the next day is no picnic due to how overtired and burnt out you are. Well, someone decided to take his lack of sleep to the next level. In 2007, Tony Wright determined he had broken the record for being awake the longest by going 266 hours without any sleep. Wright was convinced he'd broken the record by a full 2 hours. When he awoke from his well-deserved nap, he found the record had already been broken by a full 10 hours by someone else. Worse, Guinness had decided that this record was just too dangerous and had stopped recording it altogether. Ain't that a kick in the teeth?
3.
Freefalling. This one goes out to you, Tom Petty. You will be missed. Anyway, back in 2008, Frenchman Michel Fournier had his sights set on breaking the world record for free-falling at supersonic speed. He hoped to float up to 34 kilometers into the sky in a hot air balloon and then leap out. Michel's primary focus was to break the sound barrier by free-falling and then parachute to the ground. And he was going to achieve this great height by floating skyward in a contraption supported by a hot air balloon. Prior to his attempt, the balloon that was going to carry Fournier into the sky took off as it was being inflated. Now, that sounds all well and good, right? Well, not quite. The balloon took off without him. All Michelle could do was watch as the massive investment of time and money floated away without a human passenger.
2,
Coconut breaking. Gee, wonder what could go wrong with this record attempt. Well, more often than not, when people try this ridiculous challenge, by the way, the record for most coconuts smashed in 1 minute is 124. We know, crazy, right? Anyway, when people try this ridiculous challenge, they end up breaking their hands instead of breaking the coconuts or any records. So yeah, pretty much anytime you try this record, it's always going to end badly for you. Just ask the LA Beast who attempted to palm smash a coconut. It doesn't tickle, that's for sure.
1,
Bed of nails. Now, although no one has been seriously injured yet while attempting to break a bed of nails record, with the amount of people who are trying to break the record for bench pressing around 440 pounds on a bed of nails, someone is eventually going to be seriously injured. Want to know what else is classed as a world record? Having vehicles drive over you while you're on a bed of nails. Now, what exactly went horribly wrong? Well, put it this way, the degree of mental preparation that's necessary paired with an outcome of failure is enough to drive anyone insane. Imagine being so close to beating the record, but you couldn't quite make it due to the pain and risk of injury from the nails you're lying on. That would drive you to try and try again. Some records are best left as is, and we're pretty sure this is one of them.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.